Hey guys, it's Shadow here, aka Phoenix, if you know me from the Shy Guys World forums. So I had an idea that I wanted to start a new Let's Play series here on YouTube, but I haven't actually played RCT in a long time. So I thought, let's start simple. Let's just do a simple roller coaster. Of course, simple turns into a little more intricate than I expected, but anyway, so I had a thought, and I wanted to create this thought from scratch and turn it into a completely finished project, detailed, like theming, everything, just entire little area here. And originally, what I wanted to do was I had a thought to do something along a dragon, because I had been seeing pictures of Gringotts, Escape from Gringotts at Universal Studios, and of course I was also inspired by Dueling Dragons a little bit. So I thought, okay, I'll go do an invert. But I was kind of already working on an invert at the time. Didn't want to do another one. So I thought, all right, let's do a wing coaster. And then the more I thought about it, the more it actually fit what I wanted to do. So I went ahead and grabbed a Wing Rider CTR. I'm using Night Flights, so it's a pretty good little wing coaster design actually. Took me a little bit to kind of get the hang of it because you have to actually place the track and then put the station down. You have to choose whether you want top or bottom track. So I had to start that way. So what you're seeing me do here is actually all from just my head. I didn't have any kind of thing designed, anything on paper or nothing like that. I had a few elements I knew I wanted in it. I knew I kind of wanted a flyby on this centerpiece thing that I'm doing, which you will see in our next video. And I also knew that I wanted to do kind of a zero G row type thing right over top of the entrance to its plaza. So with those two things in mind, I went from there. I also knew I didn't want to have my lift hill on just like a straight square. I knew I wanted it to be a diagonal lift hill, so I had to work with that. Now, one thing about RCT is we, of course, are limited to what we can work with. We have to just use what we're given, pretty much. So it's hard to get a really smooth ride. But I feel, all in all, by the time I actually finish this, I got exactly what I wanted out of it. Now, I've already done another video, and I'm getting ready to do a third video. If you follow me on Twitch, you've probably already seen the first two of these, and or I should say, yeah, the two of both of them actually. And what I had done was about 2 hours almost each video. So this is obviously a time lapse, and I decided to narrate this and cut it down for YouTube because nobody wants to watch 2 hours of boring roller coaster design on YouTube. Nobody's going to do that in general. So after a few days, I finally got around to actually compressing these videos down, doing the time lapse, and now doing the narration over top of it. So here you can see I've got my lift hill. The lift hill basically goes up, comes down. It's almost 150 feet high, something like that is what I think it was. So you come down off the lift hill into a huge loop, into a overbanked turn, which will go right over top of the station. And then from the overbanked turn, you go into a zero G row, into a half loop, and then back out. From the half loop, it changes direction there, and then into a kind of an airtime hill, into an S curve, and to another overbank turn, and then of course a loop, a smaller loop, which I wanted something to be kind of like the viewing area there. You can kind of see the view, and then from the loop you hit another zero G row over top of the entrance to our little plaza for the station and everything. And with that in place, I then had to figure out, okay, how to finish it. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Let's do a splashdown. So this is actually kind of unique because no wing riders actually have a splashdown. And it's going to be kind of hard to do. So what I'm going to end up having to do is actually make my own car, my own CTR. And it's not, the wing rider actually has to be redesigned. Now you notice there I actually deleted the entire coaster, but I saved it first and then deleted it because I wanted to get this just right. It wasn't at the height that I wanted. So after deleting it, I replaced it to just the perfect height. Took me a few minutes to kind of get that down, but I did get it. Alright, so with that, I've got my area, I've got everything perfect. Just changing the cars there. The swarm cars that's on this are actually pretty decent. It does kind of work for my design, but still having a splashdown effect, the entire car has to be redesigned for that. It's the seats are just going to sit too low to hit the water, and of course it's going to need some fins or something to kind of do that. So I've been kind of giving some thought into that and working around with it. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be playing around with an actual car. So for now, we're just going to pretend that it actually has a splashdown effect at the end of it before it hits another curve and then a long stretch and then back into the station. Now here you can see the coasters are actually running. They do go by pretty quick there. Obviously this is time lapse, but it actually, by the time I got done with this, it was perfect. It was exactly what I imagined. Um, of course with some extra steps because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted it to have, but everything worked out perfect for what I wanted. Now the whole theme is it's revolved around. It's going to have a castle theme and kind of a huge tower right above the station, and there's going to be a dragon sitting on top of it. Now, unfortunately, there's not a single dragon I could find in RCT that will work for me. I tried the dragons from the Dueling Dragons that somebody had made. I can't remember the name of the person who made them, and they were really nice dragons, but it just didn't fit what I want to do. Although I do kind of want to use them in some way, but eventually, I mean, it just didn't really work for me. So I looked and looked and looked, and I found a model that I'm actually kind of remodeling, I guess you should say, kind of getting the polygons and stuff down on it, and then I'm going to retexture it for my use. So we're going to have this tower right above the station, and on top of this tower is going to be this dragon sitting very similar to Gringotts, like I said, because I kind of got the inspiration from that. And I want the coaster to fly right around this tower. So the overbanked turn will actually go right around this tower. And in my next video you will see this kind of come to somewhat of fruition. Although I'm getting ready to make another video where I'm actually going to tear all that down because I just wasn't happy with it. Now you can see here I'm editing the coaster because it just wasn't playing exactly the way I wanted it. So I did have to go back in and make a few edits to kind of get it. I found my splashdown was just way too close to my entrance and my exits off the station, and that just wasn't going to work, so I had to play around with that to get it just where I wanted, and this did take me a few minutes. So, and a couple of more other things that you're going to see in my next video is the actual layout of the paths, how the paths are going to go, the plaza area, and of course we start on some of the stations, some of the rock work, doing some more on the splashdown, and I think actually in my next video I think I'll take out some parts of the coaster and still redo it again. And in my third video, honestly, I'm probably still going to edit the coaster one more time because I don't know, there's just something I'm not happy with on it, and I got to figure out what that is. But I mean, the general design is going to be there. I just got to get the right height and everything for everything else. So here you can see I'm kind of playing around with the zero G-roll because that also wasn't something I was happy with. But eventually I do get this exactly right by the end of the video here that you'll see coming up. Now, again, as I was saying before to begin the video, I haven't played Rollercoaster Tycoon in a very, very, very long time. I've been console gaming. I am the number 3 right now currently in my state as far as gamer score goes for Xbox. So I've been working on trying to get the second spot. It's been taking me a while. The guy's at like 372,000. I'm at 361 at the time I'm doing this narration. So I am gaining on him. So I will have that. But that's basically what I've been doing. And as much as I love Rollercoaster Tycoon, I haven't had a chance to get back into it and actually play it. But I finally did actually find the time to get back into it, and now I found that I'm really, really kind of enjoying it again. I always kind of leave and then come back. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know me because I'm it's a new name and everything on the actual Shy Guy forums, but I have been there before as Archangel. I was on the Atari forums. Most of everybody remembers me from a park that I would have worked on for like a year and a half, which was my Hard Rock Park. It went through 2 variations, and that I just never did finish it. I'm prone to never finish anything that I actually start working on Rollercoaster Tycoon. This, however, will. So in these series of videos, you'll see this entire coaster from my original thoughts in my head come to fruition. You'll see the finished product, and I hope that everybody actually likes it. So I'm coming up on the end of the video here. You can see I've got the water down for the splashdown effect. It's not going into the water. It will once I finish the CTR. So just to finish up everything here, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and look forward to seeing my next one. So subscribe, like, and yep. See you guys later.